Hi everybody, we're going to chapter 20. It said part 2, so I think it's part 2 of the book, because we are more or less nearly halfway through the book, as there are, I think, 48 chapters and acknowledgements. Let me have a look. The end, and that's a separate chapter. There are 47, okay, 48 with the end part. So, chapter 20. I wake up on Sister Assumptius, that was the nun. Old couch. Aaron is cross-legged on the floor, hands knitted together, his nose resting on his knuckles. He must have moved me here. I don't remember collapsing, but there is a stiff ache in my joints, something that tells me I hit the floor all at once. I stare at the ceiling for a few moments, the plaster in the corners of the room moulded to look like roses. The fire damage has started to crumble away at the petals, chunks missing from the facade. So I say, without breaking my gaze with the ceiling, "How long have you known?" He looks past me for a moment, and I can't tell if he's thinking or avoiding the question. "Something's been happening to you," he says, "like a disease or an infection, but something has been happening to you." "What? You know what my gift is, right?" "Yes," I answer, my throat still hoarse from screams, finding the worst in people. What makes them the most vulnerable? Right, that's what I thought it was too. But what makes people vulnerable? Their memories, their little hidden shameful moments that they don't want to think about. That's what I did with the children. Really? Excavating all this shame from people, excuse me, then using it to control them. I don't know what any of this has to do with me being the housekeeper, but my throat is too sore to interrupt. But then I hang out with you guys, and you know everyone's gift seems much simpler than that. Lily, the electricity, Fiona, and the ceiling. You and your telepathy, Rue and the machines. My gift feels very muddy, but by comparison. But then I started to realize I specialize in shame, because I always feel ashamed. My gift has been sort of warped by my years with the children, I think, but I can feel my brain calming down a little for the first time ever. I think I can feel the real gift coming through. Your brain is calm right now, I ask, thinking about the insane snatches of thought I've caught from his inner monologue. This is Aaron. Maeve is catching his briefs of his brain or thoughts. Manon has been helping me figure it out. My gift is memories, he says, as if it's a relief to finally say it out loud. My gift is the past. I'm getting all the traces of memory from you, but I don't think they are your memories. I think they are hers. Think that what the corridor is too. I think she was in that room. I bring my hands to my face, my palms still stained with dried blood. I don't understand. You think you are creating the corridor out of the housekeeper's memories. I think you are the housekeeper, a new incarnation of her, at least. I think we are creating it together. That's why we are the only two people who can get in there. I think this curse is happening to you, taking over your body, and I am like drawing out all these old memories from her life from before. From what? 200 years ago. I shake my head. None of this makes any sense, Aaron. It does, if you think about it in the right way. The children wanted to call the housekeeper on you, right? So they do it, only nothing happens. That's because you are the housekeeper. I don't know why. Maybe she needs a new host body. Maybe it's destiny, but the children summoning her as rushed along the process or something. Either way, you are becoming her. All this rage you feel, all the disproportionate anger, it only happens when people are vulnerable or under attack. That's her whole deal, isn't it? Protecting the vulnerable, right, Maeve? A coldness came over me as I tried to puzzle it out logically. There is no doubt that my new strange power my rage and fury that suddenly strikes people blind, arrived at the corridor. And when Aaron came back. The housekeeper portrait is in the corridor. When I first met Nuella, she said that the housekeeper was a myth from the big house days, when Irish servants were so abused by English lords that they called on black magic to help them. The tiny furniture, the gold filigree, the carriage clock on the mantel. Was it a shadow of the original house that Aaron's power was hauling up from the past? A memory belonging to a ghost? A ghost that was slowly becoming a ghost that I would make flesh again? The pieces fit together in my head so naturally, flowing like a story that I've known forever. The housekeeper must replenish, regenerate, find new hosts to dwell within. Cards. Right, he says. You always have dreams about playing cards after you see me, don't you? In a dirty, grand house. This house, I think. I didn't tell you that. I say coldly. I know, but I can feel it. I just thought they were stupid dreams, but then these fragments keep adding to the scene. Something bad happened, something to her, or to you, or both of you. The portrait in the corridor, it was arguably a portrait of me. So why do you keep going to the lodge through the corridor? I don't know. We look at each other, empty the ideas until finally it dawns on me. Oh my God, the cards, Aaron, the frickin' cards. She said it in another way. Squirrel Girl had them. Dory had them on her desk. They had tarot. Aaron blinks rapidly, as if trying to let air into his brain to prevent it from overheating. You don't think she's calling you, is she? Maybe she's calling the housekeeper and she's getting me. My blood runs cold. She knows the whole time. Dory has been watching this transformation long before I've known it was happening. How could she have found out before I did? Was she watching me closely, observing my rages and freakouts, noticing the shifts in my behavior? Did she have her own Paola? And did he watch me turn Aaron and Rue blind? We'll find a way, he says. And I hate his voice this way. I hate that he's trying to be soothing. I hate him. Well, We'll go and tell the others. We'll find a way. Nuella will know. No, I suddenly snapped. No, we are not telling the others. What? We are not telling them. Not yet. Why on earth would we tell them? Rue and Fi they have so much, Aaron. The gigs, the TV shows. Do you think any of that would happen if Fi and Rue knew about any of this? His mouth moves slightly to stunt to form a response. The stuff doesn't matter, he says eventually, not compared to, you becoming. I don't want to screw up their lives and careers over a hunch, I say definitely. We've got to make sure first. That's that I'm really her. How do we do that? He asks uncertainly. Exactly what you said. If I am really becoming a revengeful demon, then let's get some revenge. No. Why? Because I could be wrong and we could be killed. What you have to remember, Maeve, is that even with the best intentions in the world, I'm still a fucking nutcase. My whole life has been paranoid delusion after paranoid delusion. I keep seeing all these visions with you, and I don't know what's true. Like what? Like stuff with a field and a dog. You in a field with a dog. I winch. Remember my vision from the chicken house. The feeling of wet nose, the cold, solid weight of a dog against my leg. What else? A girl, he says. After a moment, a girl who has been kidnapped. I perk up. Lorna. No, it is in the past. It's history, It's this thing of like everything repeating itself. But it is the housekeeper, or is it you as a housekeeper? And you are trying to get a girl out of a house, and then something bad happens. What exactly? I don't know. It's like a dream where you get the sense of something happening, but not the details. And when you get these visions, when I'm around you, when I've recently spent a lot of time with you, I just ignore them. My brain does weird stuff. It always has. Compulsive stuff, crazy images. But then you keep changing. You are a different person than who you were a few months ago. Like all the cells in your body have been replaced or something. I shiver and hold on to my arms. I don't want to change. We can fix it, Aaron says, suddenly fierce. We fix everything else. We break everything else too, I say, gesturing to our Ashley surroundings. We leave. We walk in silence through the city, even busier now, the clubs spilling clumps of drunk people onto the streets. Girls with their arms around each other, screaming the lyrics of Do They Know It's Christmas? And it feels oddly appropriate. It is early hours of Christmas Eve, and I'm walking through a tipsy city with death sentence on my head. Aaron walks me all the way home in the end. I don't know what we talk about, or if we talk at all. It seems as though we drift into filler conversation, aimless small talk, a lorem ipsum for depleted souls, too frightened to talk about what we are frightened of. All right, Chambers, he says, at my driveway. Sorry, I ruined your life. I meet his gaze. He does look very sorry. I used to think you did ruin my life, you know, I say. Now I kind of feel like I wouldn't get by without you. We hugged. Then, our bodies stiff, touching is still strange to him. I think my arms around his waist, my forehead flush with his sternum. We stand in the hug for a moment, and it feels more like exhaustion than intimacy. We break apart and give each other a gruff goodbye. Take care of yourself, kid, he says, as I put my key in the door. You say that like you are never going to see me again. Something passes over his eyes, perhaps an other vision, or just an obscure piece of Bible verse. Yeah, he says, yeah, sometimes I'm afraid of that too. And that was chapter 20. Well, it's very exciting. I wonder whether the others are going to find out or not that Maeve is in transformation and transitioning into the housekeeper. Let's see and wait. Take care. Bye-bye.